Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Hain Education, where we share the knowledge of biology. So today in this video, I will be sharing how to enter Cambridge IGCSE Biology's paper 2-2, which is multiple choice paper. So to be able to make sure you're looking at the correct paper. So I'm doing paper 2, which is multiple choice, and the exam series code is 0610, so which is 22 and October 2019. So I have already uploaded for February, March 2019 and also May, June 2019. So you can check out for the previous video as well. So let's get begin. So as usual, for starting with the number one, which is the questions related to characteristics of living thing, which would be the MRSGREN. So for number one, the diagram show a test tube containing pond's water, and the green color it's caused by microorganisms that have chloroplast. And you can see the test tube with the pale green pond's water and then light off. And when the light on, so we can see that those microorganisms containing chloroplast, they moved towards the area of light and they also produce oxygen bubble. So by moving, it's obvious that they have a movement, right? So they move to here. So they have a characteristics of movement, and also they know that there is a light. So it is also about sensitivity and also oxygen bubble. So meaning that they are performing photosynthesis, which is a source of nutrition as well. So the answer that should involve should be movement. So we got movement, movement, and this is no movement, no movement. And sensitivity, so yes. So the answer should be answer number B, right? Because it have these three characteristics, which are movement, sensitivity, and also nutrition. And moving on to number two, which show an organism that have been named using binomial system. So bi mean for two, nomial mean naming system. So we got two name system. And since we all know that normally binomial naming system, they do not use the English word. So from the list provided, it's very obvious that ABC is, we can read it, obviously, I would say. So it's a brown seaweed, polar bear, red fox. Even though all the format is correct, but these are all in English names. So the correct answer should be the last one, which is written in the scientific form, so which have the binomial naming system. And number three, they show about arthropods. So as in review, arthropods are the invertebrate organisms, and we study about of these three, so which are the arachnids, crustaceans, insects, and myriapods. So from these diagrams, we can see that they have legs and everything. They have segmented body, and the questions ask to which group does it belong. So it's obvious this is not crustaceans and it is not insect. And it is also not myriapods, right? Because it's not with the many segments. So the answer should be A. So it is arachnids. And number four, which features do animal cells share with plant cells? So basically mean that both plant cells and animal cells should have it. So chloroplast, it is obvious it's not in an animal cell. So the answer A and B is not correct. So chloroplast is absent. And cytoplasm, yes. Nucleus, yes. So the answer should be answer number C, right? Answer C. For number five, the diagram show human cheek cell, and they give a distance between point X and Y on the diagram is 30 millimeter. So magnifications equals to drawing divided by actual image. So we can see that magnification equal to drawing is 30 millimeter and the actual is 60 micrometer. So in this case, I would convert millimeter into micrometer, so which I would multiply by 1000 and divide it by 60. So let me do some calculation. So this would be 500. So it's 500 times. So yes, we have the choice answer number C. So number five would be answer number C. And number six, red blood cells were placed in pure water, and movement of water across the cell membrane caused by change in their appearance. And what caused these changes in appearance? So we have pure water, and like red blood cells put it into the pure water. So inside the red blood cell will be low water potential. So water will move into the cell. So number C and number D is not correct because water moved into the cells. And from higher to lower water potential, correct? And from higher to lower water potential, yes. So the answer is number A, right? So when we put animal cells into a pure water, so red blood cell has low water potential. So water move from higher to low water potential direction, so it will be into the cells. Number seven, which process depends on active transport? So it's about active transport. Absorption of carbon dioxide by plants leaf, it will be by diffusion. Reabsorption of glucose, yes, because all of the glucose have to be reabsorbed back into the blood capillaries in the kidney tubule. So it will be by active transport. Removal of carbon dioxide, not correct. Uptake of water is by osmosis. So the correct answer is B. And which identify the chemicals elements found in protein. So I always remind my student protein as CHON, right? So usually carbohydrates and fats, they will be CHO, which is like carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. So for protein, it will be CHON. So everything should be there. So the correct answer is A because it's tick for all columns. A student carry out the test to show whether a solution test tube contain protein. So protein is for burette test and it asks about the positive result, right? So burette positive is purple or lilac and negative would be blue, right? So in this case, color seen, sorry. So negative would be blue, positive is purple. So burette test with purple. So the correct answer is D, right? So it will be, we have to choose for correct answer D. And number 10, the diagram show an experiment investigating the effect of light intensity on an aquatic plant. So we got 20 centimeter, 10 centimeter. And then the questions mentioned that for the test tube P, which got 12 bubbles per minute. So when there is 20 centimeter distance, they got 12 bubble. And they ask you for the test tube Q, which is shorter distance, 10 centimeter. So from the normal sense, you can think that when we reduce the distance, so which means increasing the light intensity, then they would produce more oxygen than the longer distance, right? So farther distance. So the answer should be something more than 12. So the answer provided more than 12 is only the choice of D. So the correct answer is D, which is 48. And question number 11, cross-section of a leaf entered the microscope, and 1, 2, and 3. So 1, it's upper epidermis, 2 is palisade, and 3 is spongy. So it is very obvious the answer is number A, right? So epidermis, palisade mesophyte, spongy mesophyte. And then number 12, the pie chart showed the composition of 100 grams of 4 different foods. Which foods provide the most energy, right? So most energy, obviously, number C and number D is not correct because they got a huge proportions of water and it's not with the most energy. So we have to think of A and B. So pretty much fats and wild got similar. Protein A is a lot and water B has a liter and B got a lot of three-fourth of three-fourth portions of B is carbohydrate, so which would probably provide most energy, right? So the correct answer is B. And for number 13, the cholera bacterium produced toxin that resolved in water entering the alimentary canal causing diarrhea. The diagram shows the human alimentary canal, which region chloride ions are secreted as a result of the toxin. So the cholera bacteria infect the small intestine. So from this label, small intestine is label B. So the correct answer is B. And 14, the diagram show an experiment kept at room temperature. So we can see that tube containing starch, protease, proteins, and simple sugar. So we can see that enzyme protease, and protein, they would break down, but starch and simple sugar, they won't. And we got distilled water and the membrane permeability. So what is present in the water surrounding? So from starch and simple sugar can go out of the test tube into the, in from the Viscine tubing bag out of the Viscine tubing bags into the water. So simple sugar will be present. So B is not correct. And also protease enzyme will break down proteins and amino acid can be into the water, so it have to be with the amino acids and simple sugar. So the correct answer said that it would be A, right? Because protease enzyme, it will break down proteins into amino acid, which are smaller molecules and which can escape out of the Viscine tubing into the distilled water from the partially permeable membrane, and also from starch and simple sugar. Simple sugar can move out of the Viscine tubing into the distilled water. So the correct answer is A. And for number 15 is to investigate transpiration. Plant A is not covered, plant B covered by transparent. The mass of each plant and its pods measure, and the masses are measured again after 2 hours. So what would be the result? So it is very obvious that plant 1 will have a higher decrease, right? It will decrease more than plant 2. So mass of both plants decrease by same percent. No, number A, it's not correct. Both say still the same. It's not also correct. And C, plan A decreases more than plan B. This is correct. So the answer should be number C. Which description of translocation is correct? So for translocation, it would be from the source to sink, right? Transport of nutrient from source to sink. So we have to find source to sink. So we got source to sink, and movement of glucose and amino acid, and movement of sucrose. And if we remember, in plant, they do not transport glucose around the plant because glucose is reactive. So it would involve in the unwanted reaction and it can get lost by dissolving in the water. So the plants convert it into disaccharide, which is the sucrose, and they transport it around the body, plant body. So the answer should be D. And for number 17, which factor increases? So the question asks you increases the rates of developing coronary heart disease. So low fat diet, no, it would decrease. Regular exercise, decrease. Relaxation, decrease. Smoking. So smoking can increase the rates of developing CHD. And number 18, which will describe the features of passive immunity? So in terms of just a review, right? So we got two types of immunity, active immunity and passive immunity. So for the active immunity, it's me when our body made own antibody, and passive me where we acquire the antibodies from other organisms, which can be from other let's say other animals, other people, right? So let's choose the answer. So antibody mates would be no, right? Because antibody is not made in the body. Involve memory cells, no, and it only for the short term. So the correct answer is A, right? Because only for the active immunity, antibodies are produced and also memory cells are made, and also it's for long-term effect. So the answer is A. For number 19, it shows the part of the human gas exchange system and which roles identify P, Q, and R. So from the diagram, we can see that inside the R, there are red blood cells. So R would be the blood capillary, right? So R is capillary. So from this knowledge, we can see that for label R capillary, we got answer B and D. And so let's see Q. Q would be the alveolar wall. So here, alveolar wall. So the answer is answer number B, right? So it would be answer B. What is the effect on germinating seeds of increasing the temperature from 10 to 20 degrees Celsius? So by increasing the temperature, it would increase the metabolism, or it would increase the respiration rate. So decrease, no, not correct. So C and D. So C is correct because it's an increase in the respiration rate. Number 21, lactic acid built up in the muscles during vigorous exercises. During recovery, how is lactic acid removed. So from the anaerobic respiration, due to anaerobic respiration, lactic acid are built up in the liver, and it's get broken down by the oxygen. So it will be the aerobic respiration of lactic acid in the liver. So the correct answer is A. Number 22, which process transmit an impulse across a synapse? So from the synapse, so it will only be the one answer, which is diffusion. Okay. And number 23, the diagram shows size of pupil in an eye. So we can see a pupil, iris, radial muscle, circular muscle. So how do the muscles make the pupil smaller? So to make the pupil smaller, the circular muscle should relax and the radial muscle should the circular muscle should contract, right? Only contract, then it's make the pupil smaller. So circular muscle should contract and radial muscle have to relax. So the answer is B for number 23. And number 24, we get a germinating seedling. So seedling responding to the gravity, and which row show where the oxygen is accumulated and the effect on this shoot. So we can see that oxygen will be produced from the tip of the shoot and it will accumulate it in the lower surface and it promotes for the cells elongation. So oxygen is for cells elongation and it get taller and taller. So the answer is number B. And for number 25, right? So number 25, a patient had dye injected into the blood supplying to his kidney appear in the excretory system. So which part is blocked? So we can see that this is kidney. We would say this is kidney, and this one is ureta, and this one is urinary bladder, and this one is urethra, right? So we can see that there is no dye. So maybe this area might be blocked. So the correct answer is ureta, right? So you have to choose ureta. And number 26, bacteria such as MRSA are resistant to antibiotic, and this process can occur in bacteria. So from this, we have to choose, right? So for the bacteria, this is not artificial selection, right? So for the antibiotic resistant, this is not artificial selection. It could involve the genetic variation, mutation, natural selection. So 2, 3, and 4 only. So the correct answer is C. 27, why do some athletes take anabolic steroids? So this is about steroids. So as an athlete, or for some athletes, they take anabolic steroid, or let's say steroid, to be able to increase the muscles mass. So the answer is B. In humans, why are sperm cells produced in much greater number than egg cells? So obviously, one ejaculation contains a millions of sperm cells, but for the egg cell, they only produce one egg cells in a month. So let's see the answer choices provided. So many sperm cells are needed to fertilize one egg cell. No, only one sperm cell is needed to fertilize an egg cell. Sperm cells are smaller in size. Yes, this is correct, but this is not the ultimate reason. And sperm cells are non-motile. No, not correct. Sperm cells are very actively moving. The chance of one sperm cells reaching in egg is very small. Yes, this is correct because the chances of meeting a sperm cell with an egg cell is a very rare moment. So to able to increase the chance of fertilization, so there should be a lot number of sperm cells available to be able to reach to an egg cells and fertilize or fuse. And number 29, there are many reasons why a woman does not become pregnant. What can be treated by a drug that increases the secretions of FSH? So by the FSH, so FSH is follicle stimulating hormones, right? For number 8, inactive sperm is not related to women. Follicle not developing, this would be because follicle stimulating hormone mean that to stimulate the follicle. So if the follicles are not developing, then we can inject it FSH. Thin uterus lining, this is not about FSH, and too few sperm. So A and D is not related to women. So the correct answer is B. And for number 30, the diagram shows cells of mammalians embryo shortly after fertilization. So this is an embryo already, and which is the correct description of the cell. So this is already after fertilization after fusion. So it's already in the stage of embryo. So this no more gamete. So it will be the stem cell. So stem cell undergoing mitosis. So stem cell is mitosis and meiosis is only for the productions of gametes. And the diagram show a diploid cell. So it's already said that it's a diploid cell and allele capital R and small r on one pair of chromosomes. So when the cells divide by mitosis, which daughter cells will be produced? So it's a bind the mitosis, right? So fine. For as a result of mitosis, they will produce diploid cells, right? So diploid cell, and we have to think about whether they will produce heterozygous or homozygous. So since we can see that they got dominant and recessive, and which is capital and small letter, so it will be heterozygous. So the correct answer is number A. And for number 32, show a genetic cross between a male bird and a black feather and a female birds with white feather. So we got black and white, and then when they mate, they produce blue offspring. So when the two blue offspring are crossed, so let's do the pretty quick pendant square. So we have pendant square with two blues. So we got F capital B and FW, FB and FW. So they will be FB, FB, so which is black. And this would stay be, oh, sorry, this would stay be blue. And also this would stay be blue. And this would be, oh, sorry, not P, it should be F. FW, FW. So it will be 1 is to 2 is to 1, right? So black is to blue is to white. So it would be 1 is to 2 is to 1. So which is 25 is to 50 is to 25. So after this, we can choose the correct answer is B, right? So after calculation, so don't how do I say? Please, if in the exam, please trying to do the sum work calculation, so which would easier for you to choose the correct answer as well as also to check the correct answer, because without any working, it will be very difficult for you to like when you check the answers again because you have no written proof left behind. So sometimes you may be like, oh, this might be the correct answer, but when you actually check it, it will make you more doubt. So please, if you have time, trying to make a rough calculation somewhere. And what is a feature of some xerophytes? So xerophytes are the plants survive in the hot environment. So the answer should be large airspace in the tissue. No, not correct. Leaf roll up and cover with hairs. Yes, this is the answer. Leaf with stomata on the upper surface. No, thin cuticle. No, they have thick cuticle. And then the diagram show a pyramids of biomass and they have a position 8. So which organisms are found in position 8? So we can see that in the food chain, it starts from producer. So the answer should be D, which is producer. And number 35, what is a trophic level? So a group of interconnected food chain. No, it is a food web or like interconnected food chain or food web. All of the consumers in an ecosystem. No, not about trophic level. An organism positions in a food web. Yes, this is correct. The transfer of energy between organisms. No, this is not correct. So the correct answer is C. And question number 6 is about nitrogen circle. So at what stage is denitrification occurring? So just as a review for the nitrogen circle, you need to remember 3 different types of bacteria: nitrogen fixing bacteria, nitrifying bacteria, and denitrifying bacteria. So from the nitrogen in the plant, nitrogen in the atmosphere into the plant, it would be nitrogen fixing ammonia and then animal ammonia, nitrite, nitrate. So nitrate back into nitrogen, right? So the correct answer should be B. So you have to choose the answer B. For 37, which structure found in bacteria make bacteria useful in genetic engineering? So this is obvious. In the genetic engineering, we use plasmid. We cut the plasmid with the restriction endonucleases and then cut the desired genes and then join back. So the correct answer is D. Which chemicals reaction is catalyzed by the maltase? So maltase will be broken down of maltose into glucose and glucose. So the answer is B. Please be careful. Sometimes students just look at maltose and they may choose answer C as well because maltose to starch is not the broken down reaction, right? So maltose is disaccharide and starch is polysaccharide. So it is not correct. So maltase break down maltose into glucose and glucose. So the correct answer is B. And number 39, what are the possible effects of deforestation? So for the deforestation, loss of soil, yes. Flooding, yes. Decrease in atmospheric carbon dioxide. So decreasing, right? Decreasing would be no, right? Because with the deforestation, it would increase. So the correct answer is A. And to the last question, so the bloodworms is an organism formed in heavily polluted water, which is also known as the uh, indicator species, which will indicate polluted water. The diagram show where raw sewage flows into the river. So we can see that raw inputs of raw sewage from here. And the direction of water flow is like that. So it is obviously where would there be the fewest bloodworms, right? So the raw sewage enter here and then it will go downstream. So B and C and D, they may have a number of bloodworms available. So the fewest number would be the location A, right? Because it's the upstream of the point where the raw sewage is put it into a river, like flow into river. So the correct answer is A. And this is the end of the video for today, paper 2, which is the multiple choice. And thank you so much for watching my video. And if you have any questions or anything to discuss, you can let me know through the comments, and also you can email me through the I think you already know my email. So if you have any questions, you can give comments, and hope to see you in the next videos as well. And thank you so much. Have a great day, everyone. Bye bye. Enjoy your day.